ghost still haunt the waves, and a torch lights up a famished land who fortune could not save. Did you work upon the railroads? Did you ride the streets of crime? Were your dollars from the White House? Were they from the 5 and dime? Did the old songs start to cheer you, and did they still make you cry? Did you count the months and years, or did your teardrops quickly dry? I know 15 was not to be on a coffin ship. I came here and I never even got so far that they could change my name. Thousands are sailing across the western ocean to a land of opportunity that some of them will never see. Fortune prevailing across the western ocean. The bullies hold the spirits free. They'll break the chains of poverty and they'll dance.
All right, y'all. Hate to turn it off. I'm going to have to go listen to that tonight. That was the Pogues, my favorite band of all time. You combine Celtic and like traditional music with some punk rock sensibility, and you've got me at that. So it is their guitarist Philip Chevron's birthday today, so I'm going to play them whenever there's a Pogues birthday, so just get used to it. That is a song called Thousands Are Sailing, about the bittersweet experience of many Irish people who had to leave Ireland and they came to the United States. And it was about the bittersweet about missing Ireland and having to leave kind of your homeland and family and you know a lot of your things you got us through behind. But it really also shows like the land of opportunity that America has offered for many people throughout our entire history. We have a very complicated history, like so really opportunity while other stuff we have to improve upon. So we're still improving and keep making ourselves better, but we really have been a beacon for a lot of people for a lot of our history, and that's what that song is about. Okay, so birthdays. Today is June 17th. So birthdays, we have Olivia Glasius, Autumn Drake, Ayla Jakes. Happy birthday to you all. All right, so now more June 6th stuff. June 17th. Went back in time, right? Time is weird during this all stuff going on, right? Something you might have heard about, 1930, the Smoot-Hawley tariff was passed. And this was right at the beginning of the Great Depression. And there's some debate about what the long-term impact what it was, but really what a tariff is, and more economic stuff a little bit, is basically you're putting a charge on imports into the country from somewhere else, right? And so that makes the product more expensive, which in theory is going to protect businesses within the country that are making stuff. And more than theory, that can work at times. But the problem is that whatever country other countries can react to. And so at the Great Depression was starting, and Herbert Hoover, who was the president at the time, thought that he could protect American business and get people back to work, which it did to an extent, but the bad part is other countries then slapped a bunch of tariffs on our imports or on stuff that we export to the country. And so same thing, it made those products more expensive. So like Canada slapped tariffs on our stuff. And so, well, if you're a country, if you were in the U.S. maybe making stuff for consumption within the United States, well, maybe that'd be good for you because now your products become cheaper compared to products that are export or brought in from other countries. But if you're like someone that is making stuff in like Nebraska to sell to Canada, all of a sudden your product becomes more expensive, so people aren't buying it. So this happened, countries all over the world slapped tariffs on the United States as a result of this, and it really threw one more monkey wrench into the economy, which is the Great Depression didn't need more monkey wrenches. So I've heard people talk about the tariff more now like in popular media and stuff because of what's going on economically. So Smoot-Hawley tariff, and it was passed today. It was also in this day in 1972 that the Watergate break-ins, the people who broke into Watergate were arrested. A really pivotal moment in modern American history. Nixon had not ordered the break-in, but Nixon was going to be elected in a landslide in 1972, almost without a doubt. But some people behind his on his re-election team wanted to look at Nixon was a Republican, and they wanted to like get a sneak peek at the Democratic strategy for the election. And so they broke into the Democratic headquarters in the Watergate Hotel, which is if you wonder why, like any kind of scandal now politically, they throw gate on it, or even not politically, like even football, like a deflate gate. Any kind of scandal is gate because this happened at the Watergate Hotel, and so that's just kind of got stuck in our mind. So anytime there's strategy, just throw gate on it, and there's a new name for it. That's where that came from. But anyway, so they broke into it and left some evidence, and eventually they tracked it back to these people that were close to Nixon, and they were arrested. And what is going to get Nixon in trouble is he said to cover it up. If he had gone public and said, yep, some people did this behind my back, I didn't know they were doing it, but here, they shouldn't have done it, take your punishment, he probably would have been fine. Instead, he tried to cover it up. And it's kind of when we tell a lie. You have to keep telling more and more lies to cover up the new lies, and eventually you get caught, right? And so it's better just to admit at the beginning, suffer whatever consequences, and go with it. Well, if Nixon had done that, he probably wouldn't have. He won the election anyways, but then he's going to be forced to resign from office a couple years later because he'd already been impeached by the House. He was going to be convicted by the Senate. Remember, as we saw with Trump and we saw with Clinton, being impeached does not mean you are kicked out of power. That means the House of Representatives, there's enough evidence to impeach you, but then it goes to the Senate to, for a trial, if you will. So that's what happened to Trump. That's what happened to Clinton. They both got impeached. Actually, it happened to Andrew Johnson, too, back after the Civil War. We have had presidents impeached. We've just never had a president impeached and then convicted by the Senate. But it was going to happen this time because Nixon was caught red-handed. He had been lied. He covered it up, and so he was going to be kicked out of power. So instead of being convicted to become the first president to be kicked out of power, he resigned and left on his helicopter in a very, very famous scene to do his little, hey guys. So at any rate, on 1972, the Watergate folks, 5 of the Watergate operatives were arrested. And now we have, anytime there's anything even kind of close to a scandal, we just call it, whatever happened, we call it Gate. I guess just because, I don't know. Maybe creativity is not maybe some of our names for stuff like this. All right, so we are going to close on the 4-way test. All right. The 4-way test are the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? There's no virtue because it's June. So as I've been saying, take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Let's all be good to each other. Smile at people when you see them. Wave to people out the window. Make sure you get some fresh air. Make sure you're reading. And again, make sure you're laughing a lot because laughing is good for the soul. And no, I'm missing you. Can't wait to see you again. All right. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye.